Hey there, it's me Nate, and today I want to show you guys what I plan to read for the month of June. Let's see, I got a stack of about 6 books here to read for the month of June. And before I get directly into the books, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I have planned reading-wise for the next few months, for the rest of the year, basically. So as I've been reading, I've been noticing I've been starting a lot of series and then kind of being in the middle, picking up a few here and there. And so I don't want to have a bunch of series just kind of a few entries in or halfway through. I don't want to have 20 different series going at the same time. So for the next few months, at least, I'm going to be trying to focus on finishing some series, because I definitely can. If I try, if I read an entry of a series per month, I definitely can knock out a good amount of series by the end of the year. So that's kind of the plan for right now. So I think you'll be able to tell that once I go through the books of June with you guys. So let's just start off with number 1. I mentioned this briefly, I think, in my my book haul video, my May book haul video. But first off, we have Summer Night by Jim Butcher. This is book number 4 of the Dresden Files. I'm about halfway through, so not this week, but next week I'll have a review of this out. You can be looking forward to my review for The Rising Storm by Caban Scott this week. I'll have that out, probably Thursday or Friday like I normally do, and then review for Summer Night next week. Another little side note, since I've been reading more books, I'm gonna try to have bank some reviews and stuff like that. So I might be having, a review might come out and I might have read that book a week or 2 before. Just so, that way I can, if I ever go through a reading slump or something like that, I can still have at least a video per week coming out. Or if I get busy, or something like that. So that way there'll always be some kind of content coming to the channel every week for you guys to watch. So next up, we have Thrawn Alliances by Timothy Zahn. And this is the second of the Thrawn books. Of the Thrawn trilogy, the new Thrawn trilogy that Timothy Zahn did as part of the new canon timeline. So after the events of the previous book, where Thrawn, has made it to the rank of Grand Admiral, this is it's a bit later, and because also at the end of Thrawn, spoilers. Thrawn has his first encounter with Vader, and so Thrawn Alliances, as you can probably tell from the cover, is a lot about Thrawn and Vader's kind of working relationship with each other, and so we'll see how that goes. Also, I didn't really talk about it, so I want to touch back on it real quick. Summer Night, after the events of Grave Peril, with this kind of wizard versus vampire war. Harry's being, really cast into the limelight and being judged by a lot of his fellow wizards. And in the midst of all of this, Harry's kind of put into this position where he is forced to work with for one of the fairy queens on a job, basically. So it's kind of him dealing with the ramifications of what happened in Grave Peril, along with kind of this wizard vampire war going on in the midst of all of that. Next up is The Tower of Swallows by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is the 6th Witcher book, I believe. I can never remember how far along I am in the series. But after the events of Baptism of Fire, where Geralt was on his basically putting together his band, his motley crew, his fellowship, off on this journey to go find Ciri. This continues on directly from that. I didn't really look anything up on this one because it's just I just want to jump right into the next one. So basically, I'm assuming that Geralt and his group will continue on the events with Yennefer and the sorceresses. We'll see how that goes. And Ciri and the what are they called? The Rats? Is that what the name of the group that she's with? The Rats, like the group of criminals. And how they have like this like killer bounty hunter after her. So yeah, all of that's going on. I want to see how that all comes together. Next up, another Star Wars book. This is another High Republic book. This is Out of the Shadows by Justina Ireland. One thing with the High Republic books is that there's Light of the Jedi, which I've talked about, and but there's also kind of like a YA wing of books. This is the second of like the YA High Republic books. I had the first one, and I was going to do a review of it, but I ended up DNFing it. I don't even remember what it was called. And I gave it away to a friend. So it doesn't matter. But anyway, this is a YA High Republic Star Wars book. Yeah, I think it's mostly all new characters that we haven't yet read in any of the other High Republic books. So I'm looking forward to that. Next up, the second of the Arc of the Scythe books, we have Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. And so after the events of the first book, Rowan and Citra, they're split up. Light spoilers. Citra, she has now become a full Scythe. And she's so, doing like her like journeyman, like apprenticeship with Scythe Curie. And Rowan is basically on his own as Scythe Lucifer. And, this book kind of shows how their individual paths are going to affect the world, the Scythedom, the Thunderhead, and all the people and humanity, and how that's all going to, what all is going to occur based on their actions. Can't really talk much more about it without, spoiling too much. And then next up, a book I'm probably the most curious about out of all of these is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the biggest book out of the stack I have for the month. It's like another 800-page book. So, for those who don't know, I read Priory of the Orange Tree. It's either earlier this year or late last year, and I have a review for that on the channel. And this is the next book in the series, in the Roots of Chaos series. Now, the thing with the Roots of Chaos books is, to my understanding, is that each book can be read as a standalone. You don't have to read, all three of them to understand. Which makes sense, because as far as timeline, chronologically, this is the earliest out of the three books. This is takes place 500 years before Priory of the Orange Tree. So, with the exception of maybe one or two characters, it's all brand new characters. And, for those who don't know about Priory of the Orange Tree, basically there is this, in this fantasy world, there are these, evil, demonic fire dragons that come up from underneath, from the core of the planet, I guess, and they come out and, cause destruction and enslave people and stuff. But then there are also kind of these more, natural water-based dragons in the Eastern kingdoms, which are kind of Asian inspired, and then there's a Western inspired fantasy, which is more medieval European style fantasy, and they don't, whether it's the fire dragons or the water dragons, they kind of dislike them all. And so and this all takes place this book takes place 500 years before Priory of the Orange Tree. And so there might be some references and stuff that you can pick up if you've read Priory. So I'm kind of curious to see how this will go. But yeah, this is the second out of the three Roots of Chaos books. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this. And I know everybody always says it, but I mean, just this gorgeous cover art. I meant to look up the name of the artist, but I totally forgot. But yeah, it's just so gorgeous. But yeah. So those are the 6 books I plan to read for the month of June. If you have any, thoughts or questions about any of the books I've got here, or that I talked about, put in the comments down below. And if you could please like this video and subscribe to the channel, so we can help this channel grow. I can talk more to you guys, make more videos. So I'd love to do that. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a good day, and until next time.